Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Keeping It Real with Coach Neal. Alongside the head coach of the Seahawks, Chris Neal, I'm Eric Rue. And Coach, a mixed bag of results for you last week. A 1-1 week. You beat Coastal Carolina in your home opener, but fall to VCU on the road on Sunday. Just your overall thoughts about the week and how the week went for you.
Yeah, we split, and VCU was our first kind of true, you're going to get on the bus on Saturday, go play a really good opponent on Sunday. And within our inner circle with the team, we kind of hyped that match as, this is kind of an exhibition for a CAA championship game, because the CAA championship's played on a Sunday. VCU is an opponent that, in my opinion, is CAA, top-level CAA caliber. They played in the Atlantic 10 final last year, won 16 matches. And so it was a very good early season test for us on that Sunday. And we didn't play particularly well. We'll try to diagnose kind of what went wrong on that day. But on Thursday, against another solid opponent in Coastal Carolina, we played particularly well for large spans of that match. But Coastal scored late and made it a little bit chaotic there toward the end. So give Coastal credit. They down 2-0, and it felt like we were going to score a third at any moment. They stayed strong and kept fighting and got a goal and made it a game late. So it was two really good tests. We split. Overall, we're out to a 3-1 start, so we're happy with that. And we've got some really tough matches coming up.
Going back to that Coastal Carolina match, your home opener, Audrey comes through and nets 2 goals for you, and you're starting to see some variation in your scoring. But for Audrey, how good was it for her to have a performance like that on Thursday night?
Yeah, Audrey's got that ability to score multiple goals in games, and it was great on that night because as much of the balls we had, our final third was a little dysfunctional, and Audrey just basically said, give me the ball, I'm going to goal, and I'm going to make things happen. And she bailed us out a little bit. Martinez also had an incredible game against Coastal Carolina on both sides of the ball. She often doesn't get a lot of credit for defensive work that she put in, but if you watch that Coastal video again, you're going to see a very electric performance by Martinez too. And obviously Sydney saving the penalty. There were just, in that game, there were some very vivid, critical moments where players made plays for us.
VCU on Sunday, obviously not the result you wanted, a 2-1 loss to the Rams, but Morgan Nanny scores late to tie the game, and your team continued to push until the very end. Morgan seems to be coming into her own offensively here in the early part of the season. What have you seen from her?
Yeah, I think Morgan likes that field at VCU as well because she scored there last year too. But Morgan is a very creative attacking midfielder, and Morgan's also got technique and skill that around the box and the goal, she can really strike things on frame a variety of different ways with power. So just super excited for Morgan. She's had a very good start to the year.
3-1 through 2 weeks of the season. A good start. What are some of the positives that you've seen through 2 weeks of the regular season? What are some of the things that you hope to work on as you continue forward?
No, honestly, we've seen something different in every single game. The positives have been different in every game. The negatives have been a little bit different in every game. Against Furman, our set pieces won the game for us when our soccer wasn't great. Against Stephen F. Alston, our soccer and our run of play was fantastic, and our set pieces weren't great. Against Coastal Carolina, we established quality possession, and our individual performances were fantastic. Against VCU, our soccer was not working at all. We weren't connecting passes. Our first touch was off. Our decision making was poor. There was a lot of stress put on us from a soccer standpoint. So after that last water break, we kind of brought the team in, and everyone agreed that things just were frustrating on the day and they weren't working. So we changed tactics and we said, look, let's turn this into a battle and turn it into a fight. And we went more direct. And so the positive was our team was willing to resort to whatever means necessary to get back in that match, and we did. We equalized, and we were willing to roll our sleeves up and just compete and fight. And that was a tremendous positive, and just seeing that spirit of competing and wanting to win was what we took away from that.
In looking at the stats through 4 games, you have had nearly your entire roster see time on the field. How does that help you moving forward, knowing that a good majority of your team has seen action through the first 4 games of the year.
It helps us and it hurts us. It helps us because people get experience and people stay healthier because we're not overplaying them too early. It hurts us because we have tough choices to make, not only in playing time and positional matters, but also in travel rosters, etc. So it's a good problem to have.
At the time that we're taping this, your schedule for the week upcoming is a little bit in flux with Hurricane Dorian making the turn up north. You experienced this kind of situation last year with Florence where campus was closed, team had to leave campus, you weren't on shore. How does that experience help you in planning for an uncertain week ahead?
Here we are again, right? It seems like we've just recovered from the last hurricane and now Dorian's on the way, but there's no substitute for experience. And last year, that was a very rapid process. School's canceled, everyone's evacuated, you're gone, and you really have no idea. Everyone goes their separate ways, and you don't have any idea when you're going to return. And last year, that was a 10-day gap where we didn't see anyone, and we went straight into conference play. So the experience of having that has helped us on the front end this year. Logistically, what are the do's and don'ts? How do you avoid certain problems? And honestly, the timing of this one, last year it was right before conference play. This one's a little bit sooner. So I think that's going to benefit us as well. Although our ECU game is in jeopardy, I still think Wake Forest should be fine on Sunday, hopefully. And then we've got our tournament the following weekend. So we've still got a handful of really good games in Wake Forest and Middle Tennessee State, who's off to a really good start, in Virginia Tech before we go into conference play. So the dynamics are also a little bit different. But yeah, that experience last year, we learned a lot. And there's a lot of little details that we were able to clean up this year as our team left campus that we'll be better prepared.
Make sure to visit uncwsports.com and the UNCW Soccer Twitter account throughout the week for updates on the Seahawks schedule. Coach, we wish you absolutely nothing but the best. Be safe this week. Hopefully everything will be fine and you'll be able to play this weekend, and we'll chat with you again next week.
Thanks, Eric.
Alongside head coach Chris Neal, I'm Eric Rue. Thanks very much for joining us on this edition of Keeping It Real with Coach Neal.